Survivor's ready. Go!
Travis spoken.
This island is pretty much full of only two things: snakes and rats.
The fake dead grandmother could easily go down as the dirtiest thing ever to be done in this game.
I am the king, and I am back.
But I've got the $1 million check written already. I mean, I'm the winner.
The winner of the first Survivor competition is Rich.
Direct from Hobart, it's now time for the only dedicated radio show in Australia devoted to the hit TV show Survivor, bringing you the latest news and the biggest interviews from the king of reality television. It's Survivor Oz, and here's your host, Ben Waterworth.
Yes, hello everybody and welcome once again to Survivor Oz, Australia's #1 TV and film podcast, coming to you once again for a Survivor San Juan Del Sur exit interview. If you're listening to this from 18th through to 1st, then you're about to hear the second last one. If you're listening to us on the Friday which we release these, then you're probably also listening to either your second one or the second last one. I do, of course, speak of the runner-up of Survivor San Juan Del Sur, who I am about to chat with now, the one, the only, Jaclyn Schultz. Jaclyn, welcome to Survivor Oz.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Jaclyn. I will first of all congratulate you on a great game. Runner-up is no mean feat, and I am sure you are probably at this stage looking forward to going home to bed and sleeping for the weekend.
Oh my gosh, I am. It's been a crazy few days. I mean, I haven't been sleeping, and everybody, like the whole cast went out last night and celebrated, and then we had all the interviews today, and now we're in Vegas right now with my parents, so it's been fun. It's been crazy.
Yes, definitely. I mean, can you kind of get a few moments to yourself now to feel disappointed, proud? I mean, kind of what's the emotions after finishing second after last night?
Definitely proud. I mean, Natalie played a great game. You know, there's no denying that. I was so happy that Reed voted for me, and, you know, I've heard mixed things, like, oh, you know, Missy played a better game than Jaclyn, Missy should have been second, and, I mean, Survivor is building relationships, too, and Reed liked me. I mean, we're great friends, and he didn't like Missy, so, I mean, getting one more vote is huge, so I was really pumped about that.
Well, I think it's clear.
Very grateful for Reed.
I think it's clear that Reed didn't particularly maybe like Missy's game, at least, too much. I don't know. I don't want to say personally he didn't like Missy, but, you know, that was a very fascinating jury speech from him at the end there.
Man, it was fascinating. I mean, I remember sitting at tribal and, like, literally just being in shock. And I felt so bad for Missy, you know, like, nobody, like, wants that, you know, said about themselves. So, I mean, and I was with her after, me and Natalie, and we were just like, oh, my God. But it was hard because it came out of left field almost for me, because since I was in Missy's alliance, I didn't see her treating other people badly, like Reed and Alec and Wes. So I didn't really see that, but then when I got out of the game and actually talked to the guys about it, I was like, wow, I didn't realize, you know, she wasn't giving you rice and, like, that kind of thing. So it was interesting to just hear the different side, and then right out of the gate it was that, and I'm like, whoa.
So as these stories that come out afterwards, did you go into Final Tribal Council thinking that you had a shot with it? And I suppose in the end, as much as it was good to get Reed's vote, were you thinking maybe you were going to get some votes from other people that you perhaps didn't get?
You know, honestly, I really didn't. I didn't. That probably sounds terrible, but Natalie played a great game. I, like, she totally played me. I had no idea, like, anything she was doing until I saw the edit. But yeah, even going into tribal, I'm like, literally everybody thought that I was kind of in John's shadow the whole game, which was, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, I battled to have my opinion heard and, you know, my voice heard, because I'm not a person who likes to be in the shadow. So that was kind of difficult the whole game, but I knew that those guys, you know, didn't think that I was doing what I was doing kind of behind the scenes with John and strategizing. And even Jeremy said last night, he's like, you're a really smart Survivor player, but nobody knew that on the island. And I'm like, thanks, Jeremy.
There's some props to get from the end there. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing that, I mean, I know personally from myself and a lot of people here at Survivor Oz, we were talking about this last night, that we feel that your game was great. And I honestly think that from the edit, from what I saw, that it seemed to be more you calling the shots than John. Like, don't tell John I said that. But, I mean, do you feel that was kind of the case, that it was mainly you with a lot of those decisions that you weren't getting the credit for?
Maybe a little. I mean, it wasn't all my decision. You know, like, we really talked things out. Like, I didn't want it to be solely, well, the Josh decision was mine, but we really did talk a lot of it out. But nobody saw that. That was the problem. So, yeah, I mean, I did feel like I wasn't getting a lot of credit with the other people on the cast at the time. Like, after the merge, they thought it was all John, because John was kind of the social player, like, really outgoing, really outspoken, loud, funny guy. Everybody loves him, where I'm kind of more reserved and, you know, kind of just thinking things over a lot. Mm-hmm. So we kind of filled in the gaps with each other, you know, in that aspect. Like, he was social, I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not that he wasn't thinking, but...
Yeah, no, it's kind of interesting, and I suppose that's the, you know, the elements of blood versus water in a season like this. But I think obviously with you two as well, like, you're always in the middle. It just always came to the part where you were the swing vote either way. Which side would you go? Was any of this strategy? I mean, because kind of a lot of people will say in Survivor, being in the middle really is where you want to be, so you can decide which way to go.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a great position to be in. In the beginning, we didn't plan to be in the middle, but it started evolving that way, and then we were like, okay, we're talking to both alliances. We're not shutting either of them out. They know that we're going to give them a chance and listen to what Reed has to say and listen to what Missy has to say, so that way we're positioning ourselves in the middle and kind of deciding where to move forward to help our game. So... I mean, I think it was a good position to be in. It's tough, but...
Got to keep everybody happy in the sides there. I mean, you mentioning the Josh one, and we heard, obviously, that in the Tribal Council. With the Jeremy vote, because, I mean, that was obviously a huge blindside and changed the course of the game a lot there. I mean, was that John in that side of things? We only saw a real quick little snippet of John going to Missy. Yeah. That's all we really got to see with that.
Yeah, that was definitely John wanting to blindside Jeremy. I remember in the edit me saying, oh my God, this is such a big deal. Like, this is Jeremy. Like, he's a power player. But, I mean, that was kind of our thing, too. There's a lot of people on the cast that were students of Survivor that knew how to play. And I'm saying for myself, I'm not really a student of Survivor. So I knew that they knew what they were talking about. They were making it very apparent that they knew everything about it. So I'm like, why would I want you in here? If I have the power to get you out, I'm going to get you out. So
take it while you've got it. You've got to take these moves, obviously, when they come about. One thing I need to ask, and I'm sure a few people have asked you this today, that the fall that you took in that final immunity challenge, Jaclyn, are you okay after that? What happened there?
Well, the pole, the first time I went down, it was fine. And then I don't know what, I remember, like, the splinters, because it was wood, so it was, like, splintering my hand.
Ouch.
And so my initial reaction was just to let go. And unfortunately, that resulted in me falling on my butt. But, yeah. Oh my gosh. I literally could not, like, sit down right or walk, and it was just sore for a month after we got back.
Wow.
It was great.
And you still win the challenge, though. I mean, come on.
I know, man. It, like, knocked the wind right out of me. It, like, went right up through my tailbone, like, into my lungs, and I, like, couldn't breathe, and I'm just like, walk it out. Just walk it out.
Perfect time to win the immunity. Now, we spoke to John only a couple of days ago, congratulated him for the engagement. Now I can congratulate you, obviously, on the recent engagement. I mean, can you take a little bit of pride, Jaclyn, walking away, having said that, hey, I beat you in Survivor, honey? You know, I can always say this to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's been such a good experience for him and I. I mean, it brought us so much closer, and I don't know. I feel really blessed to have had that experience with him. Just being, like, I just remember, like, in our lowest moments, like, covered in mud, having to jump in the ocean, freezing, like, to clean your, like, it was just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess, closer, the wedding, that's all on the mind now. How many of the cast do you see being invited to the wedding? You gonna try and invite them all, or are there some that maybe won't get an invite?
Oh my gosh. There will be a good portion of the wedding, or of the cast at the wedding, for sure. We were talking about it last night. They're like, oh my God, this is going to be the best wedding ever. The Christie brothers are like, yeah. Oh my God, so funny.
Wow. That would be interesting at a wedding. Maybe John can avoid them at his bachelor party or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, somebody asked John, who is your hypothetical best man? And he's like, Reed. And then somebody asked me that, like, who would be your maid of honor? And I'm like, honestly, I wouldn't have a maid of honor. I would have Reed be my man of honor.
Wow.
Reed or Josh.
He gets both
They're
roles.
awesome. Right?
Perfect. Now, I'll close it out here, Jaclyn. We got a listener question here from Eddie Ratchet. And Eddie's, first of all, said that you were his absolute favourite. Everyone else was meh, but Natalie playing the idol on you was redeeming. And then he asked the question, would you ever play again?
I would play again. I would. I would definitely play with John again, but I think that it would be really interesting to see me out there by myself. Like, see if I could do it, like how it would work out that way. Yeah, I definitely would.
It'd be interesting to see how that would play out. Thanks very much, Eddie, for that question. And I will say to you, Jaclyn, once again, congratulations on second. Congratulations on the engagement, and we appreciate your time here on the show. And look, we look forward to getting you back here on the show perhaps one more day in the future. We can chat a little bit more about your time on Survivor.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you so much.
And a big thanks to Jaclyn there. Big pleasure to speak to her. I know Noah and I were on Team Jaclyn throughout this season here at Survivor Oz. And obviously fantastic to be able to speak to her. And we look forward to getting her on the show for a full-length interview at some stage in the future. Right now, we're closing this all out. You've only got one more to listen to if you're listening to these from 18th to 1st. That is the winner of Natalie Anderson. Great chat with Natalie. You can download that via survivoroz.com. Subscribe to us on all the services that allow you to subscribe to us. iTunes, the main one, of course. Remember to leave us ratings and feedback. We always appreciate hearing from you, no matter where you are around the world or what you think about the show. For this episode, I'm going to close it out. Thank you. I don't know how to speak properly. That would help. My name is Ben. The tribe has spoken. Get out of here, Ben. We'll see you on the trains.